Right, lads, you know the score. Imperial Bodybuilding here. I bring you the latest bodybuilding news from around the world. So let's dive into it. And we start the show off with an update from Samson Dauda. Not a physique update, but I just want you to take note of the cheeks. This is 90s-esque suffering. Samson looks like he's on death's door. Samson Dauda is the biggest Olympian on the stage. Let's not forget in his off-season he's 330 pounds. But Samson last year, I think he was gifted. Lads, would you say that he was gifted? Because I thought that Hadi was better than him. Yeah, Samson was massive. But he lacked the razor-sharp conditioning of Hadi. And because Hadi walked off stage the year before, it was given to Samson. This year, Samson won't get away with it, so his strategy has to be different. When you have the likes of Nick Walker, who is massive, who is conditioned. Look at Samson here. This was last week at Romania. He's obviously going for conditioning. And I've got to be honest with you, 6 weeks out this was. And my initial thoughts were, he's not as big, but look at the lat spread. This is the best lat spread that we've seen from Samson. That was one of his weaker poses. If we go to the side chest, Samson, look at the detail. Because of the conditioning, the chest pops out. The details in the quads, the sweep, the detail. This is going to be the best Samson that we've ever seen, lads. I can guarantee you now. The only problem that he's going to have is the back. The back lat spread is good, but the back double has not improved at all. That's always been his weakness. And Nick Walker and Derek Lunsford will capitalise on this. Look, I know a lot of you are saying that Samson looks small, but obviously he can't maintain the mass and the condition at the same time. So I think it's just an all-out blitzkrieg tactic to just go for that conditioning this time. It's his only option, because if he comes in big, as I said before, look, he's not going to beat Nick Walker. He's not going to beat Hadi. He's not going to beat Derek. He could potentially finish fourth. So Samson, for me, 320 pounds off season, lads. That's bigger than anyone else. He's taller than anyone else in the top four. Look, he's never going to look like Roden. And Roden wasn't a mass monster. But if he can come in as conditioned as this, you know, Roden didn't beat Phil Heath on size. He beat him on sheer detail. Conditioning. I'm just looking at Nick Walker. Lads, every time I look at him, he reminds me of the Abomination. Like, this is a man. He has not got a pretty physique, and I'll admit it here. Nick Walker's physique out of the top three, it's hideous. And that's why I call him the Abomination, the Mutant, whatever. But if we go from the back, take this, compare it to Samson's back. He absolutely annihilates Samson. We're starting to see that pixel-like detail. You see it on his quads. And when I say pixel-like detail, it's the small dots that you can see. It almost looks like pixels. The back has improved. I said that he needed to improve the back. Nick Walker's went away, and look at the density on the lower back, on the rhomboids, on the traps. Nick Walker's back is going to be by far the best back on that Olympia stage. He's going to blow everyone out the water. If he can just control the stomach, like if he can just control that gut, don't chew chewing gum, Nick, just contract the stomach. We look at Hadi Choopan. Yeah, Hadi looks good. He's starting to get that grainy conditioning. But he hasn't got the back double that Nick's got. From the back, Nick Walker destroys Hadi. Now from the front, Hadi's very detailed, polished, conditioned. It's going to be one of the best Olympias because it's so close and everyone brings something different. This is good Vito. Again, 5.5 weeks out. I think good Vito looks absolutely insane. The only place that he lacks, I wish he'd stop putting like 100% filters on his pictures, but the only place that he lacks, I think this guy's got Olympia potential. But if you look at the shoulders, they really stop him, especially on the lat spread, on the most muscular. To really fill these poses out, you need great shoulders. You look at the front double, absolutely world class. Like the legs are gargantuan. I think this is probably the best double. Who's got a better front double? I'll wait. You tell me. Go on, lads. Because there's no one in the IFBB Pro League that has a front double like this. Looking at Sergio going into the Italy Pro. I want to know your feelings on Sergio. Look, the guy's a veteran. And I don't want to hurt his feelings. But he hasn't improved in like 10 years. He stays the same. I'm just not impressed. Yeah, he pulls funny faces. Yeah, he's conditioned. He's well-rounded. But look, he just doesn't have the genetics to put on the size like some of these freaks. Mark Hector, for example, he'll be going into the Italy Pro. This is my favourite to win it. I mean, Mark Hector is an absolute behemoth when it comes to bodybuilding. For a black man, he's got that thin skin. He comes in great condition. I just hope Mark can really bring it this time. We haven't seen him in a year. But I want to see Mark. He's got a great X-frame. He's got great conditioning, a great core, 3D shoulders. There's nothing that Mark lacks. The only thing I would say is he looks slightly underwhelming when you see him on stage. But this time I think it's been a case of slow and steady. He hasn't blasted. He's worked with his physique and he's grown into it. And I think this guy is coming of age yet. We could see a little bit more details. But also in the Italy Pro, we're going to see Quinn Beastwood, who's been training with Samson Dauda. He's dangerous. I mean, for a guy that's 6'1", 6'2", he really fills his frame out. Like the size of the arms, the size of the calves. Yeah, he looks a little bit flat here. But I think this is going to be the best Quinn Beastwood that we've seen. So let me know, lads, what's your prediction for Italy? And how's Kalasinski going to go up against seasoned veterans? It's going to be, this is going to be such a good show. It's this week, this Sunday. So I'm really looking forward to this show. I think Quinn Beastwood, he has massive, massive potential. You look at the glutes, razor sharp. I think this is going to be the best Quinn Beastwood that we've seen. So Italy Pro this Sunday. Do not miss it, guys. It's going to kick off about 6 o'clock. Logan Franklin will be doing the Florida Pro. Again, I'm a big fan of Logan. This is going to be a last-minute job to try and get into the Olympia. But if we're looking at Classic, you know, it's a thing of beauty. If you took Logan back to the 70s, he's not going to stick out. You look at the flaring quads. And this is at the Arnold Classic against Mike Sommerfeld. And let's be honest, I think he held his own. And not only held his own, I think because he's a taller athlete, I always think that Classic, it just looks better when the athlete is over 5'10", 5'11". But he definitely didn't look outsized by Mike. I think this is the embodiment of Classic physique, because we look at someone like Mike Sommerfeld and other competitors. Yes, they're amazing. But are we gonna call this Classic? What's the point in calling it Classic if a guy is an open bodybuilder? I just don't see the point. There has to be a metric, there has to be a look, a certain silhouette and a frame that this division is suited to. So let me know. What are your thoughts on this Olympia? What are we going to see? Honestly, I can't predict it. I want to say Nick Walker. He's my favourite. My heart says Nick Walker, my head says Hadi. But looking at Samson now, bringing something completely different, I honestly don't know. Lads, let's jump into it. Let me know what you think. And if you haven't already, leave a comment, like, and a subscribe. And I'll see you soon.